Hello, everyone. Welcome to Shoot the Shit. Today, we are talking about probably one of the longest running series, I would say. Maybe Call of Duty's longer and a couple others, but Assassin's Creed. They have like a game a year for a long time, and it's been a lot of fun, but I think there's been a lot of criticism lately. But Ben, you've played every single one, right?
I've played every single one. I'm actually looking up right now how many Assassin's Creed games there are. Starting from '07, there's 14.
Oh, you've played all of them?
I've played every single Assassin's Creed game, unfortunately, and have platted
Okay.
every single one, starting from Assassin's Creed 2, done all trophies and 100%ed every single one. Probably about 500 to 1,000 hours, easy.
So I think what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the first Assassin's Creed that kind of
Yeah,
started it all.
started off.
And then I think we're going to kind of talk loosely about the others. And I think
Sure.
we're going to finish off with Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, the newest one. But all right, let's go ahead and start with the first one. The first game came out in 2007. And how would you explain the story, Ben? Where you start off in the modern world as
You start from the
Desmond.
modern world and you're imprisoned. You get captured by, oh my gosh,
Sturgo.
Abstergo Industries. I forgot the main villain in that. Go ahead and look that up and while I'm doing this. But so you get caught and they're like, hey, you're an ancestor of back all the way in the Crusades, and we need information from then to find out where, I guess everyone's looking for the Apple of Eden. It's the source of power, where it is in the modern world, called Pieces of Eden. And so they're like, hey, let's send you into this, what we call an animus, so we can go back and live through your ancestor. I mean, it's absolute bonkers.
Oh,
but
the concept is wild.
Yeah.
But we don't know the Apple of Eden or anything until the end, right? Like, we don't know what they're looking for, right?
It's literally at the beginning of the game.
The Apple of Eden?
Of Assassin's Creed 1, yeah. Yeah, you go through it
right at the beginning, you know what they're looking for?
He's literally like holding it and everything. It's like you like go through it, and then because what happens at the beginning is they go to the end of the game, and this is the whole synchronization process. Is oh crap, you haven't synchronized with your ancestor, so then they go back to the start of his memories, and then you build all the way up into that memory point.
And that's the excuse for
the whole game
doing it, where you have to complete the memories in order to synchronize with the ancestor. Therefore, then you can unlock the memories where they can then find where the Apple of Eden is, and kind of like tracing it through history. I mean, it's a really cool concept, honestly.
Yeah, so that's basically the entire modern world first game. Is then you lay down this animus, you can't go anywhere because you got caught, and then you start from the beginning as Altair ibn Yahad, I think. I probably butchered the shit out of that.
That's fine.
Okay.
But it is cool that they have that modern. People were complaining about the modern aspect. They thought it was kind of pointless or redundant, and or it didn't need to happen. It could have just been the games. But I kind of like it. I think the problem is it kind of fell off as it went on. Like the concept, it didn't really kind of work as you kept going through the different games.
Just kept going, which we'll explain throughout the games. But yeah, so that's basically the modern world. You have. Did you look up the villain, the guy who caught you?
Yes,
and then Lucy is kind of like the girl, the assistant that helps you.
Dr. Warren Vidic.
There you go. So you Vidic and then Lucy, and then you lay down in this animus, and then that's sort of like your hub, right? And you go through memory 1, 2, 3 all the way to the end because they're like, oh no, we can't figure out where it is. So then you start off as Altair and go through all his memories of the Crusades as an assassin and and how you, I guess, progress through the game that way. So I think you start off and it's a creed, obviously, Assassin's Creed. So it's like a cult, and now it's a creed, duh. It's like a cult.
Assassin's Creed.
It's almost like a cult nowadays.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Whoa. And so like there's an initiation process, and like you cut off your ring finger.
For the hidden blade.
Exactly. So
dude, we take the hidden blade. We take the hidden blade concept for granted because it is such a cool thing. and it's so symbolic of the whole series that any gamer sees the hidden blade, they know what it means. And it was pretty revolutionary at the time, the concept of it. Yeah, you cut off the ring finger because if you like flick your wrist up, the blade will come out through from your wrist and it'll go through the ring finger
Correct.
area, and then you can like assassinate and kill people. But it's the two factions are the assassins and the Templars,
Mm-hmm.
because the game is taking place during the Third Crusade in the Holy Land. Like Richard the Lionheart is there. He's against
At the end.
Saladin's forces.
So cool. Yeah.
And you can visit 3 real cities, which which was so cool at the time. I think now, if I've looked at the cities, they're kind of tinier than I remember them to be. But at the time, they were massive. So you can go to Jerusalem, Damascus, and Acre. And I mean, there's the real landmarks that are there. And you do experience a real event, the Siege of Acre, which was a 2-year siege that ended in 1191. So the concepts are pretty cool. And the assassins are the secretive sort of society fighting against the Templars. And they're both fighting for these these pieces of Eden, which are basically like, aren't they relics from like gods or something?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what they are. So this opens up a whole can of worms that I don't want to get to later. But this goes all the way to Assassin's Creed Odyssey about the first people and Atlantis.
And Odyssey is what, the 11th game or something, the 10th game?
Because she in ancient Greece discovers Atlantis and discovers the staff of, I think it's Syndicate or something like crazy word. And it is a immortal staff. If you're holding it, you can never die. Hence why Cassandra then is in the lore and in canon of that she is through all of the points in time in history. Everything.
Yeah.
She experiences.
Doesn't she show up in Valhalla?
Yes, she's there.
Which is was that 1,500 years later?
Yeah, she's in there, and she's modern day in a suit and tie as well. Because
interesting.
In the real modern day, because there's 2 timelines, right? She's there. Like, you find out where Atlantis is. You go as Layla because Desmond dies. Spoiler. And then you go to Atlantis, and guess who's there? Cassandra in modern day is standing there.
Yeah,
isn't that crazy? Like,
yeah,
it's
that's
like
pretty cool.
Ancient Greece to there. Yeah. So going back to Assassin's Creed, just a little bit of the story. Right, so it's 1190. Check me on that, Josh. But 1190, 1191 around, and
1190-ish.
Yeah. So you play as Altair. So he's a master assassin. He breaks, and this is the whole gameplay loop. We'll talk about the repetition. Breaks the Assassin's Brotherhood's core rules during a really botched mission to recover the Apple of Eden from a temple. His mentor Al-Mualim strips him of all his ranks and weapons, tasking him with assassinating 9 specific targets in Damascus, Acre, and Jerusalem. And through each memory sequence, you get more of your gear back. That's literally the game.
Well, it's such an interesting way of having the gameplay sort of be revealed through the story. You know, you can't have everything at the beginning of the game, and then as you play the game, you slowly get more and more bits, so you get stronger and stronger. I mean, a very classic gaming sort of tactic or style.
Mm-hmm. And then
so he has to kill these 9 people, right?
Kill the 9 people, and throughout all the targets, it's really like you have little DNA sequences in your memory hub, right?
Yeah,
and to complete
in the modern part of the game,
exactly. And it's so repetitive. It's like eavesdropping to figure out more about your target. That's one.
Yeah.
Following. That's one. There's collectibles. I think there's 300 or 400 flags to find in the game.
Did you collect all of them?
I collected all of them. There's no tracker, so I missed one. I had to go back all 300 to try to find the last one.
My God.
Yeah.
And you found it?
I did find it eventually. Yep.
How long did it take you to find the last flag?
It took me a couple
hours.
My
God.
So, no, you can't swim. Can't go in the water. You just die immediately.
Yeah, which is hilarious.
It's just really funny.
But don't you think that that's kind of a part of, like, I mean, the game came out in 2007.
Yeah, man.
Don't you feel that, like, adding swimming to a game is a pretty big...
It's tough.
It's tough. I think it's much easier now, but I think back then swimming it's like if you don't have to put swimming in, you don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I was 9 years old when this came out, so
Yeah,
I had no
That's
idea.
nuts.
Yeah. So to finish off the story real quick, and we'll get into sort of the gameplay mechanics of what made it so popular, right? Is after learning all his targets, which includes the Templar Grand Master Robert de Sable. All right, I'm totally butchering that. Are secretly working
Who, by the way,
together.
real
Yep.
person.
Yep. Are secretly working together to end the Crusades and control the Holy Land for the Templars. So upon assassinating him, Altair discovers a shocking truth. The most cliche story drop in existence. His mentor, Al Mualim, was secretly a Templar the whole game long.
Oh, don't somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah. So he used Altair to eliminate all of his rivals. So he was actually killing all of his friends the whole game.
Yeah.
So he could hoard the apple of Eden's mind control powers for himself. So Altair returns to MyCF, which is the Assassin's Brotherhood's hub or whatever base, whatever.
Well, by the way, real place too.
Yes, real place. Fights his way through all of Al Mualim literally controls all the villagers, so you're just killing everybody. You duel him, you kill him, you hold the apple, and then it shows a glowing holographic map that projects from the artifact, revealing all the other pieces of Eden across the globe.
But also, isn't this cool? Like they look at it, and in this time period, Columbus hadn't discovered the New World yet.
Yep.
So they're like are looking at it, and they're like, there are land masses there that we haven't seen before.
Like, this is
it was really cool. It was really cool to see that scene because they're astounded about how big the world is and stuff, and about that there are lands that they didn't know existed. And I think it's a really good sort of teaser for the next couple games because it kind of hints at where the games could go. So it really, really good ending. And then it just kind of ends there, right? Because then it goes back to Desmond.
So and then throughout Desmond's sessions, he basically, after every sequence, he gets up, goes to sleep, and tries to figure out a way to escape. He experienced what's called the bleeding effect, which is really cool.
Yeah, I remember this.
Which causes Altair's skills and memories to seep into his own. So he's becoming an assassin in 2012. And so this allows him to use what we call eagle vision. We'll get to the gameplay mechanics. I'll explain that.
Sure.
He discovers messages left by different subjects because the Templars and Abstergo, modern day, have been doing this for a long time, trying to figure out and find the exact subject of the different. So he's subject 17, Desmond. So subject 16, a previous Animus tester who went mad. These cryptic messages predict the end of the world and warn of Abstergo's true intentions, using the Apple of Eden's coordinates, to launch a mind control satellite into orbit to control everyone on the planet.
Okay. Let's pause there for a second.
Okay.
Because
I have one or two more sentences left, but yes, go ahead.
That's fine. Let's pause for a second.
Sure.
I think when the game came out, it came out in 2007. How old was I? I think I was 14. And I played it, and I remember thinking this was just the greatest story I've ever heard. And then now it's just a little, it's cool still, I think. But, now I'm 33. Damn. And
old as fuck, boy.
It's now I'm 33, and it's fine. But it's a little cliche. Oh, the company's shooting up a mind control satellite. And I think the problem is, I think that the modern day element of Assassin's Creed is maybe its weakest part. I mean, I think it is somewhat interesting, but the history stuff is way better. Going back is way more fun than the modern parts. I remember playing, and when it would go back,
though.
Yeah.
Didn't they?
Well, then why would they put it in? I mean, it's fine. I guess they had a reason for doing it, to progress the story. But they could have also just done a bunch of history games where the two sides are fighting for control of the world through these sort of objects and stuff. But I mean, I think it's fine because if the game came out in 2007, I mean, you probably don't remember this, but there was sort of like the end of the world, 2012.
Yes.
The Mayans predicted it, and nothing happened. So, they were kind of playing off that too. So I don't really mind. But going back to the end of the game, there, don't you see a bunch of like writing on the wall
Yeah, so you see a bunch of writing on the wall, and then so
in blood, or it
as you
looks like
get
blood?
it, yeah, it looks like blood. As you finish, finding what they need in modern day, the Templars, Abstergo obviously wants to kill you now because they got what they needed. And then shocking, the assistant of Vidic, Lucy Stillman, is an assassin.
Yeah,
And
dude, they do like the reverse thing when they do the
yeah,
the
they do it
leader
all the
of the
time.
assassins. That they do the leader of the assassins in during the Crusade period in the game is a Templar, and then here is this Templar assistant who is an assassin.
Yeah.
So I remember thinking that twist was amazing, but again, watching it now, I'm like, oh Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
So, and then she helps keep him alive, and then they escape, and that is the first game entirely. That's really it.
Well, let's then talk about
Okay,
the
gameplay
mechanics because I
mechanics. Yes,
really
please
think
go ahead.
that Assassin's Creed, I don't know if revolutionary is too strong of a word, but I
Absolutely
really,
revolutionary. Can you name
you think
another
so?
game franchise that has 16 main installments that's
I
not a
no, I
multiplayer shooter? Go ahead.
I okay, that's fine, but
Okay.
I don't necessarily think that's a measure of
I
it's
think it's a
revolutionary.
massive measure of success.
Yeah, maybe I'm more thinking that how it the gameplay itself is
Okay.
revolutionary,
Yeah.
not the fact that there are 16 games. Because let's be honest with them, half of them are bad. Like half of Assassin's Creed games are great, the other half I got it are just terrible.
I'd say,
So
yeah. I mean, I'm so opinionated with all these because I went through them all. But yeah, I'd say 25% are pretty bad. But or not
yeah,
not
well, I
not
mean, we can talk
bad.
about this.
We'll talk about it
Let's
throughout the
do
series. They're not
yeah.
bad. They're all copy fucking pasted.
Yeah. So how
So go ahead.
revolutionary is it if it's the same game? You know. I so hold on. Let's break down the mechanics
Go
that
ahead.
I
Yep. Go
think
ahead.
are revolutionary. So I think the first one, and I think the most famous one, is the free running parkour. You
Yes.
use your left stick and you hold A and or X or whatever, and you run at a wall, and Altair will just climb up the wall. I remember people teasing this a little bit because talk about the strength and the
I know.
endurance it would take to climb up these walls. I mean, it's absolutely massive. And I mean, I can't really think of another game that's done that before Assassin's Creed. Or I think I heard Prince of Persia, maybe. I think this game was originally
Oh,
supposed to be Prince of Persia, but then they
correct.
kind of changed it into this. But I think the parkouring and the free running and you can climb anything. You see it, you can climb it. I think that is probably the most revolutionary thing that Assassin's Creed has done for gaming because, I mean, think about all the games since that have done it,
Right.
right?
Hmm. Yeah, and that was the basis. So I think you hold right trigger to jog, and then you hold X or A at the same time, and then you do a free run sprint, and you can
Yeah.
go off the climb up everything, go on buildings, and this also goes into what they really did. They went with a really simple sort of like completion basis if people wanted to at the main hub, but this is where we talk about the viewpoints. Do you want to talk about synchronizing
Yeah.
viewpoints? That's also revolutionary, and every single one has copied it from then. Yeah, would you say?
Yeah. I mean, I will say the viewpoint system
Still holds up
is
today.
it still holds up, but I think that it's a little archaic now. And I also think that the one of the only studios that uses it all the time is Ubisoft. I think other games
Zelda.
have done it. Yeah, okay, Zelda. I mean, I think Zelda has taken a lot from Assassin's Creed. I mean, Breath of the Wild. I mean, you can climb again, you can climb anything.
You literally
And then
climb
the
the
viewpoint.
towers, and then it
But
displays the
what
map.
Zelda
Continue.
does, what Zelda does really well is that the tower itself is a puzzle, like getting up to
Correct.
the top. It reminds me a little bit of Far Cry 3.
Far Cry had the same thing.
Yeah. So the viewpoints, essentially what they are, is the map is covered in this gray sort of haziness. So if you get to this viewpoint at the top, it has like an eagle symbol on it, right? And you get up there, you click Y or you press Y. And this is also another just revolutionary aspect. The camera will zoom around you and it'll have this like sweeping music and you can see everything around you. It's really, really cool. If you've
That's
never
really
seen it
cool, man.
before, I mean, I don't know why you're listening to a gaming podcast about Assassin's Creed and never heard of it, but you should definitely look it up. It's really cool. And then I think honestly, the best part is you can jump off into a pile,
Oh, that's
like
right.
a
Yeah,
pile of
a
hay,
leap of faith is what they
the
call
leap
it.
of faith. And the funniest part, and sometimes games, when you make a game too realistic, it gets boring. But sometimes you can totally tell that it's a game. You're jumping off like 100 feet in the air into a pile of hay. And also the fact that there are piles of hay
Always a pile of hay every
under these
time.
viewpoints. Yeah, and dude, it's in every fucking game that there's this pile of hay you jump into.
Every time.
And
Well,
after a
they've
while,
changed it in Shadows in 2025. They changed like
that's
leaves.
fine. In 2025, great, they changed it. But
Uh,
in the most of the games, I'd say 80%, it's a pile of hay. And it just became a bit of a joke. It is funny. And I don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing it. It's just funny. And you can tell that it's completely a game based on the fact that you're always jumping into a pile of hay.
yeah, yeah. So I like that though. I'm a huge fan of sort of collectibles and like things on my map. I know that's a really
Sure.
like archaic sort of thing
Completionist.
now. Yeah, I like the idea of I need to look up, oh wow, I can climb all the way to the top. I look at my surroundings and now I see everything on my map. I really kind of enjoy that.
And it does unlock the mini map, right? Like it's like
Correct.
this circle zone, and now you can see where you can go and like go to like shops and stuff, right?
And then it shows you sort of either collectibles or it shows you side tasks or anything that you want to do there. So I was mistaken that there are 420 flags. Apologies. Those are not in the first one. The second one, they do a better job. That is not up there. You have to find those all. And 100 of them are just King Richard's flags, by the way. Just throwing it out there.
What's the difference?
It's just they have different ones for Acre, Damascus, and Jerusalem.
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
then so you, it's not on your mini map. So again, if you find one, you don't know which one you found.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
but that's interesting. That is such a old style. Like they don't tell you. You have to
Correct.
find it and you can't keep track.
Yep.
I think that's changed significantly since then because I mean, dude, we're talking about it's 19 years ago this game came out, which is
Yes. And
astounding.
remember, what was really bad is in the Animus Hub, you could not go back and redo the memory sequences until you beat the game. You had to restart. So if you missed one of the like sequences and one of the side activities, you had to redo the whole thing.
Yeah, man, that's
really
brutal.
Bad. Yeah.
But again, I think this is what we're talking about, where it's this is an older game where these things were not thought of. And I don't know if you remember really old games. They can be very frustrating.
Super frustrating because they just didn't think. I think when they made it, they're like, "This is really great. We added what we wanted to, and we did what we wanted to." And I think they weren't like, "Oh, if they collect this, they'll be fine." It wasn't like,
Sure.
"Hey, let's dig deeper. If they collect this, hey, like Alan," and I'm talking to him, whatever, making the game with Alan, whatever. Here, hey, is he going to be like? What if you forgot where that was, or what if you didn't know that, or what if they wanted to go back and complete it? I don't know, whatever.
But don't you think that maybe this is like a part of the challenge? Is that they're not going to hold your hand with it, and it's up to you?
They went away with that really quickly.
Well, I think that's people as society's gotten dumber. Games have become
yellow tape gamer
easier.
That's what we call it. Yellow tape.
Yeah, I mean, I think another comparison here is like the difference between Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim.
Yeah.
They have gotten significantly simpler and easier. In Morrowind, I think that there aren't any sort of quest markers,
Not really.
And then Oblivion is a bit better where you kind of have to go where it shows you where you need to go, but then you can like craft your own spells. But then Skyrim, you just get there. It's just so easy. Yeah, and it's very simple. I think this is the same thing. I think older games are harder because part of the game is the frustration in trying to find these items, and they're not going to tell you where they are.
So
that's a part of the game, I think.
Now it's all about accessibility, Right.
That's why we've talked about other games. We should really do a episode on Elden Ring. I think FromSoft is doing this a lot, where they don't tell you a lot of the secrets and they keep it kind of old school. I think they do a good job of meshing new and old school, and I think that's why a lot of the reason why they're so popular. But anyway, going back to Assassin's Creed, let's talk about the biggest problem that the first one had, and that was like the repetition, right? Because you had to kill these 9 guys.
Yeah.
And I remember that every single time you did it the same way.
Basically the same way.
Right.
So obviously you have your hidden blade, you have a sword that you have, and that's really it. You can like counter kill, and the combat's pretty basic. We've always talked about it too much. It's
again, but
just,
19 years old, right?
Yeah, there's really nothing to talk about too much. So that's basically it. You figure out your target, you go into the city, you find the assassin's bureau in each city, go talk to the guy. Here you go out and do exactly the same sequence 7 times in a row. Exactly the same sequence. And then you kill him with your hidden blade every time, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can kill people out in the world in this one with your hidden blade. Maybe you can, and then it tells you don't kill people because you're an assassin. You're a good guy. Stop killing citizens.
Oh yeah, it desynchronizes because that's not what you did. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah,
I guess that works.
As Desmond, I'll just go kill everybody and be like, "Fuck you guys!"
Then it's like it's game over.
Game over, and then Vidic's gonna be like, "God damn it, this child."
Yeah.
But
we have a sociopath in the Animus.
But that's so repetitive. But what was really cool is it was Eagle Vision.
Yeah.
Right. So you press, I believe it's Y or triangle on PlayStation or whatever the key is on PC, and then it changed it and went to a different color where you're blue and everything else is blue, and your target's like gold, or
target's red.
The enemies are red.
But that's right. Guards are red.
The guards are red. The blue people
target's
are
gold.
Correct.
The blue people are allies, and then
blue people are
random NPCs are just gray.
Correct. So you can go into that Eagle Vision to see and find your target in a group of in a crowd, which is actually pretty cool. That they added that, and plus you could blend with people. Let's say there's guards everywhere, and you could blend with like monks or priests and walk.
That was so
objective.
Funny. And you could like hide from the guards by sitting on a bench.
You sit on a bench in between people, go into a haystack, or up on the roof. You can go into like one of those like sniper dens. I don't know why they had those.
Yeah, I will say that the AI for the guards is bad.
It's really bad.
They're so stupid.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's like it's kind of. I mean, again, I know I'm bringing up Skyrim again, but like you shoot a guard with an arrow, and then you crouch down and hide, and the arrow's in his face, and he's like, "Oh, it must have been the wind." This is something similar. You just sit on a bench, and they look right at you.
But yeah,
and they're like, "I don't see you."
No, that must have been the wind. Just
But I mean, but then I think that's part of the charm with these games, man. Like that is kind of the fun part. It's a little goofy. It's not super realistic in that aspect, and I think that's a lot of the fun. All right, I think we've discussed Assassin's Creed 1 enough. I think the biggest problem was the repetition, but the parkour element, the historical element, I mean, the Animus stuff and the future stuff, it was good enough at the time to be like, wow, it was pretty cool. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And
it was.
I see why there are so many of these games, because history is not quite infinite, but big enough where you can just
I will say they milk the history, and it's so great.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
So let's kind of quickly talk about the rest. Let's kind of slowly go through, quickly go through them. The next one, and arguably everyone's favorite one, or what people when you talk about the greatest Assassin's Creed games, Assassin's Creed 2, I think, is what most people say is the best one.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. So they took everything in the first game and basically just made it better. They made a story a bit better. They just made it a lot more fun. And also they made, Altair is a little bit of like he was a little dry, right?
Yep.
As an assassin, as a character, he was a little dry.
Yeah, they didn't really know, and he also looked exactly like Desmond, literally, which
Yeah,
is
I
what
mean, I
was
think
really
that's the
funny.
part.
But
Yeah,
was
but
just
that's
sort of
the
the
yeah, that's the part of the whole ancestor
so
thing. But
we'll
also
quickly
after
go
that, those many
because
generations,
I really
you
want to
would
do
look
a deep
different.
dive of history with most of them. We did a little bit with one. We could even touch back on that, but really go through the history and break down each one would be
Sure,
really cool. So we have Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, Revelations are all Ezio Auditore in the Renaissance.
that's the Ezio trilogy,
Yep, and it was oh 09, 10, 11. Boom.
and those games, Assassin's Creed 2, you go to Florence, Venice, and there's like a town.
Flory,
Yeah, like a town. I remember that. Then for Brotherhood, it's just Rome. And
just
I
Rome. That was
love
incredible.
Brotherhood.
Yep.
Brotherhood was so good. And then Revelations is Constantinople. So really,
And
really cool stuff.
what was really cool about that one is they not only close off Ezio, they also
Mhm.
close off Altair.
Yeah, they really tie. I have to admit, those
Revelations
first
was
four
stunning.
games, yeah, Revelations was great. And and also something we haven't talked about, the Assassin's Creed trailers for the game are amazing.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
all amazing.
Absolutely.
Assassin's Creed 1 has the incredible one where he jumps where they're hanging,
The bell
and
tower.
the bell tower.
Mhm.
Yep. And then Assassin's Creed 2 has the one where they're having the party in Venice and he runs away and like he shoots him with his little gun. And then Brotherhood is the one where the papal guards and
You
and
just
Revelations might
disappear.
be the best one.
Yeah.
Revelations
Where
is
he
the best
goes
one
up
where
and
Mhm.
yeah. And then you see Altair and him side by side.
Yeah, and they really tie that together. No, so those four games were great. And then we have probably the first hiccup because I think that Assassin's Creed 2 is the best of the Ezio trilogy. Brotherhood and Revelations are basically, I would describe them as massive DLCs. You know what I mean? Like it's a full game, but they only add a little bit and they kind of stick to the formula and then it's just one or two extra locations where Assassin's Creed 2 was several locations.
Correct.
Um, and not to take away from them, those both of those games were great, but then 3 is where things kind of stuttered a little bit, don't you think?
Now, careful, because if you talk to
Okay,
any American, this is their favorite one.
but that's bullshit. No one
I,
likes 3.
I swear, all my friends in high
What?
school thought this was a masterpiece.
Okay,
All
okay,
the
yeah,
time.
your friends in high school are idiots. Like no
Yes,
one likes 3.
absolutely. 3 was bad. 3 was very bad. Now, the outside the Animus was fantastic how
Yeah,
they did that.
because it's
But
the end of Desmond's trilogy, right?
correct. And I want to go through all this, like I said, in detail with all the gameplay and mechanics, what they've added, what the historical context is, and all this. I really want to dig deep into that. But that was with that, and you play as Connor. Sorry.
Yeah.
An American Indian whose daddy he has daddy issues, basically, is the whole game. Like massive daddy issues.
What was the name of the father again?
Hatham Kenway.
Hatham Kenway, and we'll come back to him.
Yep.
But isn't 3, and I think we should do a full episode on 3. I think it deserves it. But 3 has the beginning where you play as Hatham
For a
and you
long
play
time.
it's like 3 hours.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a long intro
Yep.
and it's during the colonial era, during the Revolutionary War. And again, that trailer is amazing. I will
Also
say, the game
incredible as
wasn't great,
well.
but the trailer is incredible.
With the eagle flying overhead.
Yeah, with the
Oh
eagle,
yeah.
and then you find out that by the end, Hatham is a Templar, and his bastard son Connor, because he has a son with a Native American woman. So then Connor is half English, half Native American, and that
Yes.
kind of falls into a lot of the weapons because like you have an axe, don't you? And then a bow and arrow. You do have the hidden blades, I think,
So
but it's
Connor's real name is Radon Hegedun. Is his real
okay.
name of Native
Okay.
American. But he's
Okay.
like Connor.
Sure.
So like sure. Which was really cool to see that aspect. They really tied it well though. I played it. There was a lot missing in the game, but the Native American aspect of exploring like the forest and hunting. This was the first time you could hunt
Yeah,
and you
that stuff
grab
was
those
cool.
materials. It was really cool. And then,
The
but
pro-
yeah, daddy issues. So you're like, oh
the
my,
problem is Connor. The problem is Connor was just boring,
he was just a
right?
complaining, moany. He was annoying. I was like, dude, we get it.
Yeah.
Your daddy fucked your mom and he
Well,
left.
then the problem is that the Ezio trilogy, Ezio is such a charismatic protagonist.
So good. I know.
He's a bit of like, honestly, I've described him as like James Bond a little bit.
Yes,
Suave,
absolutely.
charming. He's everyone's favorite assassin. Actually, is Ezio.
Disagree,
Um,
but okay.
Disagree? Okay, fine. We'll talk about it.
Edward.
Well, perfect. That's a perfect segue because then after 3, we get to Black Flag. Black Flag came out in 2013, and it was during the golden age of piracy in the Caribbean. And I have to admit, if Assassin's Creed 2 is the dude, actually, Black Flag might be the best one.
Black Flag's the best
If I'm
one.
being perfectly honest, 4 is absolutely incredible. You're basically a pirate assassin, which is it's fucking awesome. Honestly, it's amazing that game. You get to upgrade your ship and sail around the Caribbean. The map is massive. They
Yeah,
add
this
a
this
lot
was
of
a game. This was a game changer
Mhm.
again. They revolutionized the series again.
Yeah,
with this.
I agree. And we're still in, even if Assassin's Creed 3 was a bit of a not quite as, it didn't hold up to the standard, it was still fun and people still played it and liked it. There was
Mhm.
just a bit more of the complaints about it. But
Sure.
then 4 is incredible.
Yeah.
Like 4 is an
You're not
astonishing
even
game.
a freaking assassin.
Yeah, you're kind of like a pirate. You're a pirate assassin. You just steal, and what's hilarious is like you're a pirate and you steal the outfit of a real assassin, and
Who wants
people
to
kind of
kill you?
mistake
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and they have all of this like pirate lore. There's Blackbeard. You can also fight the 4 like legendary ships,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Which is really hard. So you need to have a fully upgraded ship because your ship's just a brig, I think.
I am not sure.
Brig or
We'll have to
frigate.
dig into
Ugh.
this.
Okay.
We'll have to dig into
So we're
this.
gonna do a whole more of this. So that was that Caribbean, and I want to quickly because I want to talk about Black Flag a little bit more. Then we had Rogue, which was really cool.
I never played Rogue. This is
Ro-
kind of where I started to fall off from
so
playing.
this
I
is
played
where
all of them up until Rogue.
this was the peak of Ubisoft because they within 3 years released 5 games,
Yeah, it's too
which
many.
was way too
They should
much.
have
So
focused.
they had Assassin's Creed 3, they had Black Flag in 2013, 2014 at the same time they released Rogue and Unity.
And Unity was a disaster.
Unity was awful. The French Revolution. Oh no, Dorian. Absolute. Like, think about the most generalistic Frenchman
French guy?
you can think of.
Yeah.
It's Arno. Absolute
Yeah.
pussy. So
You know what's hilarious?
couldn't stand
I
Arno.
I did not even remember his name.
I know. And then Rogue.
Like, I couldn't have told you what his name
which
was.
Shay was really cool. I really liked actually Rogue because you play as a Templar. You start off as an assassin and you get betrayed. And you
Of course you do.
you are the reason of that. Remember that awful earthquake back in, what am I thinking of? In Lisbon? Is it Lisbon, Portugal? Back
Oh, yeah.
remember that? Yeah. It was because of him. Shay.
How does a person cause an earthquake?
Yeah. He goes down to try to find a piece of Eden and he touches it and it causes the earthquake in the
That's
city.
kind of okay.
Right? Isn't that cool? It's
that's
really cool. So don't sleep on Rogue. Rogue was really fun, but it was a copy paste of Black Flag. You have your own ship. Same thing.
Yeah.
Really, really cool though. I don't sleep on that. Unity was terrible. It was the French Revolution.
Well,
Then
Unity started terrible, but then it got better. They fixed it.
Yeah, they got better and they tried to add multiplayer. I was like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, that multiplayer.
Ugh.
Didn't you do all the trophies for the multiplayer?
Yeah, I had to play with people and it was really bad. They were so bad. And they were really
Wasn't there like a
dumb.
Discord?
Oh, it was bad. Yeah, there was a Discord.
You had to like, because there's only like 30 people still playing
So
it.
no, that was Black Flag. I had to do the multiplayer. It was still live, and then
Oh,
I had to do
Jesus.
Unity. I had to do co-op stuff, and that was not fun. It was bad.
Okay.
PTSD. Moving on. So and then after that, we have Syndicate, which I know a lot of people didn't like. I enjoyed it. It was the revolution. It was the Industrial Revolution in England.
Probably, maybe alongside Rogue, the least famous one.
Yeah,
The least
you know
popular,
what?
maybe.
But I really liked it. They had the carriages. They had all the
That's
iconic
fine.
characters that you thought of. They had Edison. You worked with
Thomas Edison.
Yes, was that what I'm thinking
Thomas
of?
Edison was in London.
Hold on.
Thomas Edison is American.
Who am I thinking of?
I have
Am I
no
dumb?
idea.
Hold on. Keep talking.
I
It
think
was.
that
It was a Thomas. It
so
was a Thomas.
Rogue, Rogue, Unity, and Syndicate, I think is where I think the Ubisoft understood that their old formula is outdated. You know, where in
Correct.
Assassin's Creed One's formula was revolutionary for the time in 2007. But we're hitting, Assassin's Creed Syndicate came out in 2015. You know what else came out in 2015 was The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
And The Witcher 3 people, I mean, you could probably say it's in the top 5 greatest games ever made. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think
Yep.
many people would argue with
So
that.
this was a trial run Syndicate of a RPG. It was the first time. They
Okay.
made it very simple. Start off at level 0 to level 10, split up between districts of difficulty that you could
Sure.
tackle. And now, I'm sorry, characters. I'm an idiot. I was thinking of Charles Darwin, Charles
Oh,
Dickens.
okay.
You
Yeah.
had
Famous
Graham
British
Bell. I was
people.
thinking
Yeah.
of Graham Bell.
Oh,
Thomas
yeah.
Edison Graham
Alexander
Bell.
Graham Bell. Yeah. 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 Okay.
You had Karl Marx.
Karl
Um,
Marx. Did
yup.
Karl Marx live in London?
Yeah. So you had Queen Victoria at the end, Florence Nightingale,
Okay.
and then Frederick Aberline.
Okay.
So, yeah, cool, huh? Those are
All right.
the
Well,
guy.
let's move on from Syndicate then, because I see what you're saying, and it's very early RPG elements with
Very
Syndicate, but
early.
I do think that they recognize that that style is outdated and over, and I think they
Yes,
had to change. And
and that's why they tried it with Syndicate. Yeah,
I think the game that really where they completely changed the formula was Origins.
correct.
But I think what they did, dude, and we've talked about this. I think Origins is a shadow of what The Witcher 3 is. But it's
Ooh,
definitely you look at the map and like how you play it. Yeah, it's pretty similar.
don't sleep on Origins though. Do
No,
you
it's
remember the
fine. It's
assassin
fine. I don't remember the assassin
Bayek?
actually. Bayek, yes, and he was cool. I did like
He
Bayek,
was
and
great. His remember the tragedy with his son, his wife,
yeah,
and you
the
go through
history.
all with Caesar. You talk with
Yeah, this is
Cleopatra,
Ptolemaic. This is
ancient
Ptolemaic
Egypt.
Egypt.
Hmm.
Well, it's not ancient Egypt; it's ancient Rome because
Correct.
Egypt is
Still,
now a part of Rome. So,
yeah, but would you
in
still call it ancient Egypt because it's still in
no, I
Egypt
mean, the definition is a
to
little
distinguish it, or
loose
no?
here. No, ancient
No.
Egypt is like when the pyramids were built, like
Okay.
which is also think about this. And the Romans are as old to us as the ancient Egyptians were to the Romans. So the pyramids were already ancient in ancient Rome, which is an astonishing fact.
That is.
They had Romans would tour ancient Egypt because it was already that old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's absolutely fascinating. And so it's Ptolemaic Egypt, and the Ptolemies are,
Yes. Yes.
Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great is a Macedonian general, Greek general. He conquers all of Persia. He goes all the way to India. He conquers Egypt. He does. I mean, talk about historical influence. Alexander the Great is in the top 3 most influential people of all time.
Yes.
Like
Absolutely.
no comparison. And when he dies at like 32,
Yeah.
maybe 33. I actually don't exactly remember. One of his generals' name was Ptolemy. And Ptolemy, they split the empire of Alexander the Great between 3 or maybe 4 of his generals. I don't know off the top of my head. And Ptolemy gets Egypt, and the Ptolemies rule Egypt for the next 300 years until Caesar shows up. And Cleopatra is a descendant of Ptolemy. And
Ah.
the problem is they were severely like inbred and stuff. Like, I don't know if you
Yeah.
know this, but like Cleopatra was married to her younger brother.
I do. I
It
do
was
know
like
that actually.
it was like a whole thing. So this time period, Ptolemaic Egypt is what 50 BC, right? Because
Yes.
Julius Caesar's in the game, right?
Correct. And again, we are dipping our toe in a pond. I really want to swim in the pond with
Oh,
all of
dude,
these,
that was good, Ben. I like that.
right? And then really, I've had a couple. So I really want to, like, analyze
That's
this
fine.
into depth of
That's totally fine.
what we're talking about. So that was Ancient Egypt with Bayek, and then arguably my favorite, very close, was Odyssey. And this was the
Yeah.
first one of. This is now actually Ancient Greece.
This
Gorgeous.
is ancient Greece, yes. This is
Stunning.
pre-Alexander the Great. This is the Peloponnesian Wars. This is like 500
Sparta
BC.
versus yes, this is
Athens.
Spartans versus Athens. Yes. So this is the first time you got to choose between a man and a woman for the first time ever.
Well, the man was so boring.
Alexios or Cassandra, correct. She is now canon.
Was so much better.
She is now canon, and she is what you should have chose as. But this finally was full RPG. You had a little bit in Origins. You could have dictated if you wanted to sleep with this person, sleep with that person, side quests, exploration. And then they really, starting in Origins, went with mythology a lot.
Yeah.
And this is where
a lot of the fantasy element, right? They're kind of not a lot of history
go over
here.
all of the story and what's going on here and outside the Animus and all that. This is then where they lost control, was in Valhalla. They took a 3-year break. Then they went to the Vikings, and it just got out of control. Completely out of control.
You loved Valhalla, didn't you?
I've put about 500 or 600 hours. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I think I maybe put 20 hours into Valhalla, and I was like, I don't like this.
So I did all the achievements on Xbox and all the trophies and all DLCs on PlayStation as well. I had a problem with Valhalla. I loved what they did with it, and the story was bad. It was just, they just were like, let's just open it up completely. You're just a badass Viking, just kill everybody. They had you could have picked up Mjolnir, for crying out loud. Thor's hammer. This was amazing, right? They had the stats. You could customize your gear. You could I liked him. He was cool, and he was really cool. And the history of the Hidden Ones is what they call them at the time of the Assassins was really cool. I liked it a lot. I know this was then again though, where now we hit the last trend. They're like, okay, crap, people don't want to see this anymore. RPG needs to change.
I don't think the RPG needed to change. I just don't think they were very creative. And I also was frustrated with the writing. The writing was boring.
The writing
I didn't
wasn't
care.
Great. The writing wasn't great.
If I don't care about what's happening, I don't want to play. I agree. I think Odyssey was great. Odyssey was a lot of fun.
Odyssey was their last great
Odyssey.
one. Arguably Valhalla, if you like that sort of vibe. But yeah, Odyssey.
I would completely agree with Odyssey being the last great one and I think if you were to kind of rank the top 3 Assassin's Creed games, you go AC2, Black Flag, and Odyssey. I think those 3 are the top 3 best ones.
I have a really soft spot for Shadows, but we'll get to that.
The newest one. We'll get we got 2. So, we got 2 left, right?
2 left. Mirage was awful. It was basically like a DLC, and they just it was like a filler.
About Mirage.
It was with Basim, and this is where, if you don't know what's going on the 13th main installment, long story short, Basim is a reincarnation of Loki from Valhalla. Yes, don't get me started. We'll get into it. Don't get into it.
Okay.
Yes, they went all crazy here, and Basim also now exists in modern day as well. He takes the staff from Layla. Layla dies in the modern world, and now he is immortal.
Layla?
Layla's the girl that replaces Desmond in Origins outside the Animus.
Yeah, see, dude,
we'll get there.
I fell off the story.
I know.
It's like a soap opera at this point.
It really is. And then, so we're getting there. And then Shadows was, we don't really do too much out of the Animus, and I sort of forgot a little bit. But Layla, I think,
feudal Japan.
Feudal Japan. I think it was awesome. I loved Naue and Yasuke a lot. And I really liked
a little bit of controversy with this too.
Huge controversy. But I like the different aspects of switching in between. Hey, I want to kill everybody. Let me play as a big black guy in Feudal Japan. And then let me be a little bit more nimble and hidden, and I'll play as Naue. And they each have different skill trees and different abilities with how they want to play. And the assassinations are brutal and really, really cool. So I actually do think it's in the top 5 now, that one.
Shadows?
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh, that's controversial. That's very
controversial one. I really liked it a lot because of the history, and if we release this on Instagram, I'll probably get destroyed.
Well, they were begging for a feudal Japan for years. I remember hearing about it back in like Black Flag in 2013, they were like, oh, we're going to eventually do one in Japan. And then it took till 2025. What's the name of the Black Samurai?
Yasuke.
Yasuke. The I know there was a lot of controversy behind it, and let me try to explain my thoughts here a little bit. Yasuke is mentioned in the historical text like once. It's a very, very sort of flimsy reference to a black man that does go to Japan and to become a samurai. I think the problem with it though is like the Japanese, I mean, that culture is already so rich and so different from our own. I don't think they would have run into any problems if they had just made a Japanese samurai.
Correct.
Like, can you imagine being Japanese and seeing the game and being like, "What? Why did you guys do this?"
Sure.
I don't quite know.
And I think that's where I was one of the best, like 30-second clip, and this will be a transition into, like I said, we'll go into all these into the last I want to talk about. Wow, we talked 51 minutes, 5-10 minutes left, but is this guy? It was a streamer. I don't know who he was, but he was like, I sat down with a top Ubisoft like executive, and I talked to him about streaming and about the future of gaming, and he was like, what do you think? This Ubisoft executive said to the streamer, what do you want us to do? Like, what do you, because he was like, you guys used to be the trend setters. You now are the trend, like you're chasing trends now.
Assassin's Creed or Ubisoft?
Yeah, both. Now, back in 07 to 2015, you guys set the market and the example.
Yeah, they set the standard.
And now you guys are looking. There's no need to add a black man in Field of Japan. I understand the whole, I hate the word woke and DEI. I love that they include all this. This will be a sticky subject, but it has to be done right for me. And don't force these things in gaming and shows and movies.
I would love an African Assassin's Creed. That would be awesome.
Sure, I know.
Like, think about the time period of colonization and imperialization. You're a black man in Africa fighting against colonizers. I think that would be an amazing Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
and I would love to play that.
Yeah.
I think it's just, I also don't think it helps. I don't think it helps prejudice or racism at all. I actually think it makes it way worse.
I think it does because it's forced. That's the whole point of what I'm saying. So,
and it's just reference it's one small reference in an otherwise very, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think it's tricky. I see why they did it because they wanted to do a bit more diversity, but when diversity doesn't make sense,
do it.
I love diversity. Of course I do.
Sure.
But do it when it makes sense.
You're saying exactly what I'm saying. I totally agree with
you. Like, do you remember that movie, The Great Wall? Do you remember that movie?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's a movie about the Great Wall of fucking China, and fucking Matt Damon's in it. Yeah. I don't want to see Matt Damon in a movie about the Great Wall of China. It's the same thing going the other way.
I agree.
I have no patience for that.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I mean, I think it was, just it didn't work. But I also wonder if they did it because they knew it would cause controversy, and then more people would talk about it. Therefore, more people would buy it. I mean, I could easily see that happening too.
Now, I don't know what Ubisoft are doing now. They are in a bit of a sticky situation. Mirage failed, and Shadows was okay for a lot of people. I really enjoyed it because of the feudal. I don't know. I'm not sure. I would go ahead and look that up while I'm talking here. But so what they decided to do, and this is what the guy, going back to the streamer, talked to the executive. He's like, go back to one of your golden games and redo it, is what he told them.
You think so?
And that's what they did with Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync. They took their best ever selling, or best ever game, not sure how it's sold, of the Caribbean, and let's just modernize it. Let's just take it. We have the core, and let's remaster it and see what people think. It's incredible, apparently. It's incredible.
Yeah, I bet it looks great. Yeah, I've seen some footage.
All the changes, awesome. But again, $60. Oof. Okay, that's fine. But I want to go over what they added to it, and we'll go into another deep dive of Black Flag eventually and do this one again. So they have new story and gameplay content. You can now recruit officers to the Jackdaw, which is your ship, and benefit from their unique abilities after completing their own brand new quest lines for each officer, and you buff your ship.
Okay.
So, and you can customize, you can add pets to the Jackdaw, as you say.
Oh,
cool.
Okay, I like
They
that.
added a mini game in your cabin, Kenway's Fleet, and fully integrated into the gameplay. They have all the old shanties and 10 brand new shanties as well.
I love the shanties.
Yep.
Them
They
singing
have
was
brand
amazing.
new missions and scenes, all recorded with Matt Ryan, who is Edward's original actor.
Fantastic.
Yep. They have a new endgame chapter, A World Without Gold, introduces an additional 8 mission storyline, all centered around Blackbeard.
Dude, do I have to get this?
This is what I'm saying. I'll keep going. They have brand new
keep
quests, one focused on Blackbeard's treasure and one providing closure to our favorite gentleman pirate, Steed Bonnet. Remember that the Bonnet, the guy who joins you eventually, who's going to go back to his wife and kid, and he helps you in the beginning.
Oh,
he's like
yeah.
that nerdy
Isn't
dude.
Yeah.
Yep. They added Animus Rift side activities. Okay, whatever. They added 2 special crossover projects with challenges that can be completed in Resynced or Shadows, earning you other outfits. Okay, whatever. Now we have combat improvements. They fully reworked the combat for the modern era with parry-based fighting, showcasing deeper tactics that focus on timing and reactivity instead of the old counter kill.
Well, dude, Kenway could just jump on the ship and
kill 100 guys.
Everyone's dead.
Exactly. So they made it
easy. The combat, I will say,
a health bar now, I think, instead of you just kill everybody. So you have brand new takedowns for visceral combat. You can do a gun kata and quick fire pistol combos even more. And then they also added a new enemy called the Demolitionist for a more challenging opponent in combat. Okay. So that's really cool. In stealth, you can observe mode to help you keep track of your targets and increase your situational awareness. You can now crouch anywhere. You could not do that in 2013. You had to only crouch in the bushes to lower your profile.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you could not crouch at all. At least I don't think so. That's what it says. But you can crouch anywhere. Maybe I'm wrong there. But it does say that. Light and shadow now play a role in your visibility. So if you're in this, because before,
so
if
they're
you're
just
in the shadows,
adding a bunch of layers and realism to it.
Yep. So you can also put your hood up or down is now a choice you can make, and then you can dive anywhere to approach a seafront location in total stealth or explore beneath the waves.
I think this is great. Like, honestly, I think this is a very smart move by Ubisoft to do this.
So
because Black Flag is their best game.
It is absolutely their best game. So they added more naval gameplay additions, seamless naval to land exploration, secondary firing modes for the Jackdaw, and more cannons, barrels, all reworked enemy factions for more challenges, and a whole naval wanted system in Pirate Hunter's Return with all that fun jazz. All different parkour. You can manual jump. You can do side ejects, which apparently give them more, maneuverability.
This is great.
Yeah. All improved graphical and technical enhancements as well. And that's it. So.
Well, all right. I mean, I think that's awesome, actually. That's I mean, I don't know. It sounds like they changed. Is it a remaster or a remake, man? Because they've changed quite a bit.
For that reason.
Resynced? Okay. Yeah, it's not quite. It's somewhere in the middle between the two.
It's a middle.
I'll probably wait a while, but I'll probably play it because I can't spend
the next month or two. Yeah, before Wolverine. Yeah.
Well, we can. Oh, Wolverine! I'm very excited for that.
So I'd love to do another episode next time. I know we dipped our toe in everything Assassin's Creed of just Ezio.
Yeah, you want to just do the Ezio trilogy next?
Absolutely.
We can absolutely do that. That could be a lot of fun. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
So.
But I think we got everything, Ben. I mean, this has been fun.
Crazy.
I think Assassin's Creed. Yeah, Assassin's Creed's left a little bit of a bitter taste in my mouth. Probably the past like decade, with the exception of Odyssey.
Yeah.
So talking about those older games, they were some of the best.
And this is why they did a remaster of that, to get people back in and to try to set trends now for what they want to do. Not what everyone else is doing, but what they want to do. So anyway. So
All right. Well, I mean, this has been we'll talk about the next one I think that'll be a lot of fun to dive into
Yeah.
that a bit more,
Ezio for sure.
like the mechanics. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, let's do that. But
Okay. Yeah.
all right, well, this has been shoot the shit, and we'll see you next time.
Yep.
Bye bye.
See ya.